The Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
It's the front page news.
It's what's trending now.
As the nation remembers and reflects on the 20th anniversary of September the 11th, so many will never forget how and where they were as one of the darkest days in United States history took place live on television as multiple planes were hijacked by terrorists and crashed into the World Trade Center in New York City, the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania on September the 11th, 2001. Listen.
What a beautiful Tuesday morning it was. The sky was clear, it was blue. About 8 o'clock, American Flight 11 was fully fueled. It was bound for Los Angeles. It left Boston Logan Airport.
This is Boston. I tried American 20 left and I was going to climb him. He will not respond to me now.
Nobody move. Everything will be okay. If you try to make any move, just stay quiet.
We have a problem here. We have a hijacked aircraft headed towards New York, and we need you guys we need someone to scramble some F-16s or something up there to help us out.
Is this real world or exercise?
No, this is not an exercise, not a test.
Hey.
What was that? Not real world. I think there's mace that we can't breathe. I don't know. I think we're getting hijacked.
Wow, newscasters tried to compose themselves as millions watched that morning, terrified and in shock, trying to figure out what was going on. That morning, we lost nearly 3,000 lives to the planned attacks. And even 20 years later, it's still hard to cope with what happened that morning for many who survived the attacks, as well as the babies and the young people, that have grown up with missing parents. But one thing survivors want is for us to never forget the loss that we felt that morning and how our nation was able to come together as one.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, God.
There's another one. Oh, my goodness, there's another one.
This seems to be on purpose.
Another one just hit the building.
Wow.
Another one just hit the work site.
Holy smokes.
And that was just the beginning.
Third aircraft hijack heading towards Washington.
Scramble Langley, head towards the Washington area.
Latest report, aircraft VFY 6 miles southeast of the White House.
6 miles southeast of the White House.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. We're looking at a live picture from Washington, and there is smoke pouring out of the Pentagon.
The Federal Aviation Administration has shut down all air traffic nationwide. This country has been immobilized by these terrorist attacks in terms of air travel today.
Later, we learned that Flight 93 was either coming into the White House or the Capitol, and I think most believe it was the Capitol. The Capitol Police started yelling, "Evacuate, evacuate." We ran out of the Capitol, and I asked the security where to go, and they said, just run, run, run. And I looked back, and all of the smoke was coming from the Pentagon.
Wow, that's crazy. I remember I was taking a later flight to Kansas City that morning, and my son, who's now 20, was 4 years old. And I was not 4 years old, 4 months old. Right after Malik was born, I was sitting there watching the news, MSNBC, of course, and watched the first plane hit the building, then the second plane hit the building, and when the second plane hit, I knew we was under attack. Maria, where were you?
I was actually pregnant with my son, who is turning 20 this year. And, just hearing that, Rickey, is really hard because you just really, your heart goes out to the people who were on the planes and, the fear that they must have felt in that moment, and all of the heroes that went into the towers to try to save lives. It just really makes you reflect on your blessings and really makes you want to remember these first responders and these heroes for what they're doing for us every day. But yeah, I was pregnant at the time. And I'll never forget us all watching at my job that I was working at.
I actually was DJing an event in Manhattan at a hotel the weekend before that.
Oh.
And but on the morning of this situation, I was on the way to the store, and I was going to buy a lawnmower, right? And I just started hearing a bunch of commotion. in the store, inside the store. And I'm like, what's going on? Why is everybody, what's going on? And just a whole bunch of little commotion and people talking and like just a lot of worry on people's
energy
faces.
got bad.
The energy got really bad. So I'm just kind of looking around at everybody, and then there was a TV monitor at the front end of the store when you're checking out, and there was like a little crowd. Everybody was just crowding around the monitor. So I went, I said, wow. And then that's exactly when that second plane hit. And I'm like, what's going on? And after that, it was history. I'm like, oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, I was at home, I remember sitting on my bed watching the news, like you were saying. I was watching the news every morning, and when that first plane hit, and it's when that second plane hit, I just remember being kind of in a state of shock. Like, did I just see what I just saw? Yeah. And I watched TV that whole entire day. I don't think I moved for like 8 or 9 hours.
Right.
I was on the air, actually. Me and Maria Moore, not this Maria Moore, but it was another Maria Moore, and we were on the air, we were watching. We didn't believe it was really true, and we like, my God. And we, like Special K was just saying, we watched it the whole day when we were at the radio station in Dallas.
Eva, where were you?
Yes. I was back home in Los Angeles, so considering the time difference, it was really early in the morning for us. And I was senior in high school, headed off to school. My dad commuted to work, so he was on the East Coast. And he called us and told my brothers and I to sit down and turn the news on. And we sat there and in awe and shock. And we ended up going to school, but like you said, this school was numb. Like it was on television the whole day, and it was something that I think even 20 years later, we cannot understand. Yeah, and when it was happening, we didn't understand it, but we still don't understand it.
Yeah, my mom came over that evening because I was glued to the TV with my niece and my sister or whatever, and my mom got us all in a big circle, and my mom was praying. We had a big circle, she was praying, and I remember holding my son, and everybody was crying because we just thought we were about to be attacked. We didn't know what was going to happen. After that, only thing we knew that it was something was totally different. Let's go to the phones. Good morning.
9/11, I was in Jacksonville, Florida, in a meeting with my peers, and we got an alert that it had taken place, and for at least 10 minutes of the meeting, it was complete silence and a moment of just feeling like the world had come to an end.
Well, I'm here in Houston, Texas, but at the time I was at college at Texas A&M University, and my mama always told me to turn on the weather. And when the first plane hit, I was like, I thought it was a movie. I literally thought it was a movie. I was like, who turned it to a movie? I had done the news. And this just was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my whole entire life.
I was in the 7th grade and just scared out of my mind. And the way it affects me today is made me angry. 9/11 is what made me go into the military. I'm a 13-year Army veteran.
Hi, thank you. I was at the World Trade Center. I worked at 6 World Trade Center. It affected me really badly. Still kind of, since, it's the anniversary and everything, I'm kind of like not feeling too good about it. But I did take off today. I was actually there, and it kind of hit me pretty bad.
Oh, my God. We just want everybody to everybody that was affected by this, keep everybody lifted up in prayer. Everybody in New York who lost loved ones. Some people, did y'all know that they are still trying to identify bodies with DNA? They still can't. Some people just came up missing because they had everything going on that could destroy DNA, jet fuel, concrete, all of that stuff, man. And some people they just came up missing, and they never found them, unidentified. All of the trauma and the trigger, I'm getting tears in my eyes thinking about it now. I just feel so bad for those families. Just imagine it was a comedian that worked at the World Trade Center that got killed as well. And just imagine, and that's why we have to thank God for our blessings. Thank God for what we have. When you sit up here worried about stuff, and just imagine how people had to just walk around with their family member name on a picture, holding it up. Have anybody seen my uncle, my cousin, my mom, my dad, my son, my daughter? And just the despair and distress of people walking around looking for their loved ones. So right when you think you got it bad, man, somebody going through worse and have caught pure hell. I just could not imagine in my wildest dreams something like that happening to anybody that I knew or whatever. We all deal with death, but that was something really different and crazy, and the terror that came along with it. So we want to keep our prayers out. Go out to all of the families who lost loved ones during that time. For more of our detailed September the 11th coverage, log on to RickeySmileyMorningShow.com. That's RickeySmileyMorningShow.com.